I've been losing friends but finding peace. But honestly, what? But honestly, that's a fair trade with me. Yeah, I've been losing friends, but I've been finding peace. But honestly, that sounds like a fair trade with me. Anyway, guys, today I think we're going to be talking about. Well, we are going to be talking about one of the most like important topics we can talk about in this channel because it's so important to know who's around you. Like you might think like, oh, it's just my friends. It's not that deep. It's not that important. But I have to say to you, I think it's one of the most important things ever, because look, your parents are going to influence you more than anybody. And but when it comes to your like personality, like those parts of your personality that really make you you, like your parents are going to put the roots, and then your friends are just going to water it. Does that make sense? So it's very important to know what type of friends you have. And in my video today that you're watching right now, I'm going to talk about one of the like the worst, right, characteristics that you could have in a friend. So I want to first tell you, I got some notes here actually. But well, I first want to tell you more than anything that you can search it up right now. Music has control of your feelings. If you listen to certain music, sometimes if you listen to like uh, peaceful music, it makes you feel peaceful. If you listen to music to work out, you usually listen to something that's a little toned up, right? Like it's a little more motivational. It has a little more strong power hit. I don't know anything about music, but you know what I mean. And there's some music that if you listen to, it's literally going to make your brain like, hey, I wanna like have sexual interactions, because you're listening to those like messed up. Well, not I'm not gonna say messed up because it's all over. And sometimes I even listen to songs like that, secular songs that are talking about intercourse. And what's your brain gonna be thinking about that? It's gonna be thinking about that. There's people that get angry when after listening to a certain song. They're in a different mood, they're in a different pace. When I'm writing, if you want to go check out my blogs, when I'm writing, I literally put classical music on because it just makes me feel like I'm really centered down. And this is no joke, guys. The reason I bring up the music is because the same way listening to the same words or listening to a beat that your heart matches, I'm not sure how it fully goes everything, but the way your brain reacts and the way of pace of life, the way we walk with our like the way we walk and the beat of our heart, everything has to do with like the music beat, basically, if that makes sense. And in the same way, listening to those words while you're enjoying it sometimes could like deepen whatever it is. I'm not sure how to say it, but let me explain it to you in a way. If you like something, right? Let's say you like chocolate, or people like Coca-Cola. It's not good for you, but you like Coca-Cola. Your brain wants to have more Coca-Cola because you're having such a good flavor from Coca-Cola. You're going to want you're going to want more Coca-Cola, even though it's not good for you. Even though it doesn't do good for you, you still want it. Either way, in the same way, you can have the best time listening to music, but that it's any good for you, it's not any good for you. Like there's going to be good music. That I mean, it comes both ways. They can change your emotions, and at that point, you just put peaceful music, or you're always at peace, right? Little trick right there. Um, but in the same way, if your friends are always influencing you negatively, you're going to be doing negative things. You're going to be doing bad things. If your friends are criminals, you're going to be if you have 5 friends, your 5 closest friends are criminals, you're likely going to be the next criminal. If your 5 friends are going to the gym, you're likely going to the gym. If your 5 friends are drunkards, you're probably going to be the sixth one. If your 5 friends are drug addicts, you're probably going to be the sixth drug addict there. It's just who you're around, what's around you, and what's every day showing up in your life that influence, and also that that not I'm not sure how to bring it up, but that influence that they bring you up, the words, the way they carry themselves, the way they feel with themselves, they are always projecting that. And when they project that because of their personality, they're putting it on you. Same way right now, I'm putting my high energy motivational speech onto you. I'm trying to tell you this in I'm very excited in most of my videos. I'm not I sound excited, or I'm not sure how to say it. I'm trying to get the point across, and I'm trying to make sure you enter you like yeah, actually I don't that sounds so weird. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Um, so okay, so this is actually really good. What you consume changes you. If you eat a bunch of carbs, you're going to feel tired. If you start eating a bunch of fruit, it's gonna have some benefits there for you. But if you eat too much fruit, you're gonna have an acidic stomach. What I'm saying is not just consuming music, not just consuming food, but if you're consuming all the time negative, impactful friends, your life is going to be negatively impacted. I mean, just add up the math. That's what it is. If you start having friends that positively influence you to go to the gym, you're going to end up in the gym, especially if they're your closest friends. So, to to let you understand, and then we're gonna talk about this later, but you need to learn who you are as a person, and you don't do that with other people. You do that by yourself. You learn who you are. You learn your value by yourself. Because if everybody's always giving you your value, a lot of people can't be alone, and that's actually I want to make a whole YouTube video about that because it's crazy how people can't be alone with themselves. To me, it's just wow. People can't be alone with themselves because they don't know who they are without others telling them who they are, even if it's just unintentionally. Like if I said, if I make joke with you and I make you feel welcome, I make you feel like you have value. But if no one does that for you, you're not gonna feel like you have value. So a lot of people can't be alone by themselves because there's nobody to show them their worth. There's nobody to show them who they are. So they always need somebody to be there to comfort them so they don't feel alone. They don't feel like they're worthless. They don't have to feel with the doubt that they have truly inside themselves because they're truly empty. So you need to learn how to be. Oh man, I can't turn the computer off. All right. So you need to learn how to be by yourself and value who you are in yourself. Like, if no one comes to motivate you, if none of your friends tell you to go to the gym, if none of your friends are telling you, I'm not sure, do your homework, or none of no, like, just imagine something that you want to do for your life, and your friends haven't done it for you. It's on you. It's on you. After all, like your friends can motivate you, your friends can help you out, but at the end of the day, it's on you to get up and do it. So, just to have it clear, if you're all the time, for example, if your parent, this is actually statistically proven, like this is scientifically proven too. Most people who were assaulted sexually when they were younger, they end up assaulting sexually when they're later on as adults. So what happens is because you did it, or like most people, and this is just an extreme example. I'm not saying that this is anybody or even me. Please, no, no. I'm saying this in a way that whatever your parents put when they were in when you were being a little tree and you were being taken care of and you were a little plant and you were growing, whatever seed they planted, whatever you know fertiles or whatever ground they put you on or whatever plant they put you around, whatever shade or how much sun or how much water they put you with, what type of water they put you with, if they put you Fiji water, they put you that natural crap, you know, Fiji, like not Fiji water, 7-Eleven water, whatever it was, depends on what was nature to you that you're later on going to imitate with within your life. And the same way, if you're always around poison in your life, you mean your 5 friends, if you're always around poison, your tree is going to fall down. Your tree is going to be negatively impacted by that. So anyway, let's get to one of the most important things about friends. And in my personal opinion, these are things that you gotta look out. So for number one, lack of support. A lot of friends, I you know, there was times in my life where, man, did I needed a friend. Like I needed like a friend to be like for me, hear me out, listen to what I had to say, and just help me out with whatever I needed. For example, the other day, in one of my videos, I said I was doing a course. My friend knew how to do the website and stuff like that, and I asked him for help. And I knew like this was a big task because it was taking time out of his life. And he just told me, "No, don't worry. You call me anytime because I'm just playing video games most of the time. I'm really not doing much with my life. I mean, he has things to do, but he's like, right now I'm not busy, and I have all the time in the world to do it. And so, there was I tried to let him do the least he can, so he wasn't bothered because he was doing something for me. I wanted to do something for him, even if it was the minimum of him not working as much. So there was one time I really needed help, and I just did not know how to do it, but I knew he did it, and he just said, "As the other guy, bro, as the other guy, like I'm not doing this and stuff like that." And then like 30 minutes later, he's like, "Yo, you want to play some video games?" And it's that type of things that when you are really stressed out about something, and when you're going through something and you're trying to make something work, and in that moment in life, when not just about the course but everything that was going on in my life and the pressure that wanted to finish that because of all the things I've been trying and haven't been working out, and he knows that because he's a very close friend of mine, when that happens, it's just like I really needed you. I really needed you in that moment to help me out. And that was the last thing I needed you to tell me is go tell someone else. When you know dang well that person's not gonna do anything. And that to me was hurtful because it's a very close friend of mine. And when they know everything I'm going through and they're not really, you know, doing much, he has a life and everything, and I understand that. But he told me that, hey, call me anytime and stuff like that. Those words that don't have a backup, those acts that they say they're gonna do just because they want to reassure you, but they're really not doing it, that is a killer. I'd rather him tell me, hey, I'm not gonna help you now, and I'm not gonna help you after this. Like this is the last time I'm helping you, than him telling me something, and then at the end of the day, when I really needed him, he's not there. If there's any friend that he has told you like, hey, I'm gonna help you, whatever it is, but when it comes to that time to show up, when it comes to the time to really help you, when it comes to the time to really be there for you, they're not there. I have to say that's the first no for my friend. Let me connect my computer because I'm watching my computer as we're talking. Okay, number two, having a hard time appreciating you. As having a hard time appreciating you is mostly when when compared to the last point, I want to be the opposite of what they were doing. So for example, you come to me and you tell me, hey bro, I want to go to the gym. I'm like, bro, you know what? I go to the gym Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. What about if we like if I go to the gym and we go to the gym at the same time? Like bro, if I have to take like an hour workout longer, let's do it, bro. And you come the first week, and then I'm waiting for you. You're there late. You're really not showing up. It's like the first month that you're not really showing up. You show up late. You don't really care about my time. Uh, and you you seem to be not even thankful that I'm trying to lead you into the gym. And let's say you even ask me, hey, can you help me with this? And at the end of the day, you just ignore everything I said, and it doesn't matter. Like I didn't, want a thank you from my friends when that happened. When I remember when that happened, it wasn't the gym exactly, but I remember I was trying to help them out with something that was really important for them in their life, especially like a deep, meaningful thing in life. And I remember I took hours on my days, like 2 hours. I study for like an hour, and then I, teach them whatever I needed to teach them in the next hour. Not that I needed to receive the thank you because it wasn't on me, but the best thank you I could have received, it was them actually using what I was doing, because I really care about them being progressive as a person, and I really care about them going out and trying out whatever it was that we were talking about. But they just couldn't care less. They showed up late. They weren't showing up sometimes. They failed to meet the schedule, and they didn't show as much enthusiasm as I was. And I just said to myself, if they really wanted to do it, they would do it. But they never did it. I told them like, hey, I'm not doing this anymore, and if y'all wanna do it, y'all can call me and tell me y'all wanna do it. They haven't said anything, and it's been like that for like 2 weeks now, and months. Really, I just sent a message lately, because I'm not doing that no more. It takes time out of my day. It takes effort, and they don't really care. So a friend really has to be honest with you. Hey, you know what? I understand everything you're doing with me, but I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not gonna take it. So don't waste your time. Or just straight up tell you, I don't really care enough. I don't know why you care so much. So just quit it, bro. But they didn't. They let me with the struggle by myself, and so there was. Number three, I'm going to talk about friends being stuck with their lives. Now, a lot of people tell me, hey, I'm too harsh with my friends, so maybe this is a little too much for my friends. And this is anybody, for everybody. Anybody can be like this, but my friends were too stuck in their life. They always say that they 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 wanted to change something in their life. They wanted to under like they just let me think for a second. They wanted to learn things. They wanted to do things with their life. They wanted to change situations. They wanted to do this and the other, but they never did it. And here's a quote that I have: if you don't know your value, you're not going to know how to value a relationship. And whether that's a romantic relationship, whether that's a friendship, whether that's your parents, whatever it is, if you don't know how to value yourself, you're not gonna know how to value others, because you never learned how to do it in the first place. You never learn how you even have a value, so you're not gonna do it with other people. And it's that's important at the moment, because when your friends are not doing much with their life, when they're not changing, when they're procrastinating, when they're not really doing anything they said that we're gonna do, it shows the lack of value they have on their life. And like I said before, that poison is gonna come to you. If I have three fruits and one of them is expired, and these ones are they just came out, they're fresh. If I put it here, they're going to be expired in the next 24 hours, because this one's so contaminated. Even if you put one, now imagine 5 and 1. That's you right now. 5 expired fruits with fungi growing on it, and you're right there in the middle, taking it all. And it's not slowly doing it; it's doing it fast. So when your friends have no value in their life, they're going to project it on you. You're gonna slowly become that no value person. You're going to slowly become that person who's around their friends, and now you're going to contaminate other people, and y'all by yourselves are gonna contaminate. Expired food never comes back. An expired fruit keeps getting worse and worse. So escape while you have the time, because you cannot return an expired fruit. You cannot just change the time or change something about it. Once it's expired, it's expired. You can't teach old dogs new tricks. Let's go for the fourth point. This one's kind of actually repetitive, but I don't know why I have it here. Yeah, they don't care about your goals. I think this one is very key, because it goes back to what I was saying with the value. If they don't value themselves, and they don't value their goals, and they don't value their future, or whatever they want to do with their life, or they don't value their word. If they say they're going to go to the gym but they don't do it, like I'm saying like never. That's what I'm saying. Like they say like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and they never do it. I'm gonna do that, and they never do that. If they don't care about themselves, they're not gonna care about you. For a long time, and I still do it, and it's really bad for me, because usually when I play by myself, like if I ever play video games, if I play by myself, I tell myself I'm gonna play 1 hour. I literally get like, maybe I'll leave like 5 minutes later or 5 minutes before, but when the hour hits, I'm like, all right, I'm out. But when I play with my friends, I tell them like, hey, I'm gonna play only like 30 minutes or like an hour, and they're like, they don't tell me nothing. And so an hour will go by, and they'd be like, bro, didn't you say like you were gonna leave like 30 minutes ago? And we just make fun of each other. And most of the times when I was playing with them and they told me, bro, I can only be here 40 minutes before I have to go to the gym. When 40 minutes hit, like counting for them. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm hopping off the game. And he's like, why? Why are you hopping off the game? Because you gotta go to the gym. And they're like, bro, we could have finished, bro, we could have finished. And I said, no, bro, you said 40 minutes, and in 40 minutes you're out. And I wish they did the same thing for me. Because if I said I'm gonna be out in 30 minutes, they shouldn't quit the game because I go a step too far. But they should tell me like, yo, bro, keep the promise to yourself, keep the value to yourself, get out the game, bro. And when that happens to my friends, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm out. You gotta go do your things, so you do it. We're not playing no more. And that is what's gonna lead me to my sixth point. They don't support. They don't support you. In a basic way to put it, imagine you have a goal. Like let's say the website we were talking about in the beginning, or you want to go to the gym, or you want to self-improve. You want to. Yeah, I cut out. Well, we're good. So to let me know where I was at is they don't support you, right? So like I was saying, if you are trying to self-improve, you're trying to go to the gym, and they just are not quite the motivational. If they talk trash, that's not it. Get out of there. Like, actually. But in another way, they can be more quiet and submissive about it. They don't really tell you what you should be doing better with your life, or they motivate you, or they're, you know, I'm not saying they're taking care of you or like going after you or helping you out in everything that you gotta do. But I'm just saying, hey, a little checking will be nice. If they're not checking for you, if they're not, you know, uh, criticizing you in a way that you can build yourself with. Like, if I told you, like, hey bro, I honestly think you skip the gym too much and you're being a lazy, I think that's a good thing. You should have those conversations with your friends. If you don't have those conversations with your friends, you should be doubting your friendship, because it's really important to have honesty in your friendship. And the reason they're called my real ones, that's what people call them now, my real ones, is because they told me the truth. They told me the real thing. They told me who I really am, and like, and what they see on me, that it's not good for me. They really care about what you're doing, what you're gonna do, and what you're going to achieve. So for the other day, my friend found a YouTube channel. He might be watching this right now. My friend found a YouTube channel, and he didn't say anything about it until like 2 days later. I sent a link in the chat, and he was like, "Yeah, I already watched it. It's ass." And I was just like, "Lol, like that's crazy." Like, I was pretty shocked, because that same day, I remember some guy in my YouTube comments was saying like, "Bro, you're so, like, you are a BS kid. Like, you suck. Like, you suck ass. Like, you talk a bunch of crap and stuff like that." And whatever, I don't know that guy. For him, it might be true. For me, I like what I talked about. I like doing this, and I didn't really care much. But when it came to somebody I knew for years, and they never told me that, like, hey, you could do better with this. I didn't like this. I didn't like this part. I think you could change that. I could change this. They never did that. And it's not their, you know, job to do it. But in the same way, it's a friend that is thoughtful, that thinks about how they don't have to give you all the time advice, because I also talk about that. No, I'm going to talk that in a video about talking too much. But a friend will say like, bro, I watched your video. I honestly, like, hop on a call and let's talk about it. But that's it. And he could have told me that. And even if he told me, bro, I didn't like it, bro, but we can talk about it. We can talk about it. We can see what we can do, or like what we can change, or if it was just me who didn't like it. But no, he just said it was ass. And it kind of hurt compared to like the other person in the YouTube comments that I never knew. I was like, oh, bro, this guy doesn't know me. But a guy knows you 4 years is saying that, and they kept it quiet. It just makes me feel gosh awful about the video. But anyway, enough of me talking and more of me listening. I'm going to also release a video on that. I know I'm going to release a lot of videos, and you're probably gonna get them soon. But not listening, it's the worst. I like, if there's one thing, if there was one type of friend I would never have in my life, is the people that don't listen. I absolutely disgust when you're talking to friends and you're telling them everything that's going on with your life or whatever it is, and they're so quick to say something or make you feel bad about it. Like, if you tell your friend, hey, you know what, this is happening in my life. Oh, no way, bro. Nah, you suck. Oh, you so stupid, bro. That type of stuff, I just like, bro, I rather tell a homeless man. I rather tell a lunatic. I rather tell some crazy guy on the streets than talk to you. Because if it gets to the point where I just can't say anything, and can't be like, the reason I'm sharing this with my day ones, with my brothers, with my bros, is because I trust them, and I'm going to tell them things that I'm not going to tell the normal people. So when I open up to them, it's like, for me, saying like, hey, like, in my mind, what this guy sounds so weird, but if there was a way for my mind to be naked, this is how it is. And I'm just telling them exactly, like, my honesty. That's what I mean. I don't know why I had to say all that, but my honesty, when I'm being completely honest with them and I'm being completely transparent with them, is I want them to see the flaws. I want them to see, like, I'm saying this because I understand that myself. But once you act and you start making fun, or you start judging quick, or you start saying a bunch of things and talking a bunch of things that doesn't even make sense or don't add up to that, and they just go to give, or they even give you a bunch of advice when you didn't ask, it was never about you. It was always them having you as a friend to feel superior than other people, because they don't know their value, so they need to know that other people are below them so they can justify who they are as a person. And that's going to talk the most important and last point, and I think is probably sums up mostly all the points I have up here, mostly sums up this person in the best way possible. I'm gonna call it insecurity at its finest. When I was, man, freshman, sophomore year, I remember I could not be celebrating any of my friends' victory. I could not go a moment without helping a friend, without already thinking what I wanted to get out of it. And most of the times when I needed to talk about to new people, or needed to, interact or whatever it was, I will always talk to people I already feel superior in. And that is really horrible, because it didn't let me understand or see the other person's perspective on anything, or like the other person's idea. And even if they had a good idea, I'd be just against them, because it was just, if if they're right, that means they're they're as good as me. And once I realized I was doing that because I didn't know who I was, I didn't know my value, I didn't understand who I wanted to be in life, I didn't have a purpose in my life. Once I started seeing that, I was having those struggles, and I was talking to people that I feel that were less than me, just so I can feel that, just so I can feel that I was above them, just so I could feel that I was superior, that I had more value than them, that I had a reason more to exist than them. But after the end of the day, that made me manipulative, that made me a liar, that made me just not a good listener, not somebody who you could be transparent with, not somebody that you could just tell things to listen to you. I was the opposite of everything I shared in this video. Because once I realized the flaws in myself, I could realize the flaws in other people. And it goes vice versa too. If you ever see the flaws in somebody else, don't be like, oh, that person, dude, I hate that person. Ask yourself, do I have that flaw? Because once I started doing that, I was like, I have that flaw. Why am I trashing him for having the same flaw I have? And to say you're better than anyone takes away the beauty of individuality. The mix of paints that makes a beautiful rainbow. That's why we hate gray. I think that phrase is really nice. I really love that quote. So, to sum it up here, just remember that finding your value, and I'm gonna show you a picture I put right here. It's actually really nice. That's really nice. That's a perfect picture to what I want to explain. Finding your value, it's you being that different plant. It's you being in the midst of everything, in the midst of everything changing, and the world following just one spot, just going through the same crowd. And when you wanna know who you are, it often feels like that. It feels like when you look around, you're like, there's nobody like me. But once you start knowing your value, once you start knowing how to put boundaries in your life, once you start knowing how to put a purpose, a meaning in your life, it's truly something that changes not only your friendships, not only your relationships with other people, but also you as a person, your relationship with yourself. Because at the end of the day, the most times you're gonna spend with is you. The most times you're gonna be driving is with you. The only person that's on your head is you. There's nobody else. And so don't let the negativity always get to you, because they're not there with you, and they don't know everything you saw, they don't know everything you understand, they don't know everything you have as a person had, because you have your own uniqueness, you have your own gifts. and you have to find them out. But when you're with all the noise, with all the negativity, with all the, you know, just negative impact in your life, when you're with all that fungi, trying to get to you, it's not helping you. Friends are one of the best things you can have. Also, they can be the most destructive things you can have. Friends are supposed to build each other up. As sharp as iron sharpens iron, a friend sharpens a friend. And that's what the Bible says about it. Whether you believe it or not, it's super just real. Even if you don't believe in God and you're on self-improvement or whatever it is, and you want to be better as a person, you understand that you need to surround yourself with the right people. And that's how you grow as a person. So anyway, guys, take care. I'll see you in the next one, and be the good friend.